man, listen, I'm shaking. No. Shake it, not stir it.
No, I'm shaking, not stirred.
Um, I'm
Just
doing
making sure.
great this morning.
No, good stuff. Good stuff.
I didn't get a chance to post the pictures I wanted to post yesterday, but I think I'm going to do that today. And I got a lot of work done this weekend. Actually,
Did you? No, good stuff.
Yeah.
You somebody. Not random because I was talking to somebody. It was like, oh yeah, because somebody got a post with Di. I said, who? I said, oh, I know who she is. Valid. No. The weekend was just. It was the week. It was the weekend. It was intense. The week. I don't remember.
The weekend was so intense for him.
It just blends into.
Yeah.
It just blends into. I don't even. What was what's today? Monday.
Yes.
Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. Sunday was good. Sunday service was amazing.
Yes, it was.
God showed up. Both
Both
services was very good, very intense. Lord, we love you. Saturday. What happened Saturday? Saturday came. No. Good morning. Good morning, Ron. Good morning.
You had the one that you had the twin that actually likes me on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did have my kids.
Because no, see, like I'm not trying to be funny. Like I love both of my nieces, but like Samora was the one that I bonded with first because Amina was always asleep every time Frank would bring him. So I was like, oh, I had this bonding moment with Cece. Oh, she loves me. And then she went to North Carolina and Cece stopped liking me, but Amina likes me now.
Yeah.
And I was like, you switched.
No, my kids,
Sorry, with your sister.
my kids definitely hit us with the okie doke when they came back from North Carolina. But
Trey still loves me.
Yeah, Trey, he's authentically he's gonna be himself. But like my children are just crazy. Like Amina's a bully. Like
don't come from mine.
No, listen. Just this morning, I watched her snatch the bottle from her sister while she's sleeping to take with aggression. Girl,
she wasn't playing around.
She saw that Cece was asleep. We ain't gonna waste this goodness.
That is crazy.
She like this stuff is expensive.
Who was born first?
Amina.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
She's gonna pull rank.
No.
She came in the world first. That's it.
Yeah, and she's solid.
Don't
yeah.
My little friend, she is perfect.
But she's just like the twin behavior is more so Amina and Trey than it is Cece and Amina. Though Cece and Amina, they're like, who are these people? They're twins, but Bubby and the same baby. I said, this is this. Oh, y'all the same. Y'all the same. Amina was jumping on Trey. He just didn't care. No. Oh, okay. Y'all could be the wild ones, but it's okay. I love my children.
It's gonna be interesting watching the girls grow up and the fear that comes in a father's face when they realize my daughters are pretty and dude's gonna come to the door.
Oh, valid.
Like
already gonna be a situation, and
because Trey is handsome. So I'm gonna have to then whole blocker for Trey.
Yeah, I'm definitely a defender. I'm definitely gonna be hard for them. But my wife was like, we the parents that you gotta be like, if your friends come over, they gotta go to church in the morning. We those parents. I said, dang, we are, aren't we?
Oh man,
we're
you
there.
know what though? I always I love that growing up. Like when my friends would be like, oh yeah, my parents said you gotta come with us to church. I'm always like, okay, let's go.
I was not that friend.
Yeah. See, I enjoyed it. I always enjoy going to church.
I grew up Baptist, so we was in church all the time.
Yeah.
Like Monday prayer, Tuesday something, Wednesday Bible study, Thursday meeting, Friday young people meeting, Saturday
so you was
like choir rehearsal. So I was sick of church. So when I spent the night at my friend's house, I was hoping they was heathens, that they was not going on Sunday, because it was like, yo, we gonna sleep in, we gonna get up, cook some breakfast.
That's crazy.
And watch the other people go to church.
No,
yeah,
we out here.
I was.
That's funny.
No, I was like,
just a little.
Church is in my life.
Yeah,
but mind you, that didn't happen until I got like 11, because prior to that, we were living a heathenistic lifestyle, and then my behavior was just. Let's not talk about it. It happens to the best. Listen, it's going down this morning. Hope you are in good spirits. Listen, we're getting ready to get into Big Girl Chronicles in just a few moments. We'll be right back. But listen, you don't want to miss today's conversation. We're getting ready to talk about all the stuff you've ever seen online. Yes. What's demonic? Can you go to the concert?
Yeah.
What I almost said the Grammys still got stuff from there. Rihanna, we got stuff to talk about. Call a neighbor, call a friend, and if you got to go to work, I quite understand. Do me a favor, download the app Fire 716, and we'll be right back right here on Fire 716. Big Frank in the morning.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
Unfortunately, African Americans are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites, according to the U.S. Department of Health Services. My name is Fatima Matthews, and I am a congestive heart failure patient. I am taking my life-changing experience of having died on the table and being revived to help educate others on the topic of heart health. And I am inviting you to attend my luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Heritage Center right here in Niagara Falls, New York.
I'm too slow.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
Watch out for the big girl. Watch out for the big girl.
Big Girl Chronicles. Beautiful, intelligent, and graceful.
Jay Cherie, it's on you.
What's good, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is Big Girl Chronicles, and on this kind of warm but kind of cold Monday morning, I want to talk about go back and look again. So I was kind of sad because everybody's been posting about their taxes and how, you know, they was able to file and someone's getting money back. And I was like, God, this life of unemployment is ridiculous. Even though I'm employed, but I'm not really employed. School employs me. Technically the government does.
Yes, you said
but I was like, I don't have nothing to file because, you know, WorkStudy doesn't really give you like a whole tax form situation. And God was like, go back and look into your Uber. And I'm like, my Uber, like I only drove like maybe 10 rides in 2022 because I wasn't supposed to. And so I was like, God, okay. God was like, go back and look. And so logged into my Uber account and found out that I actually like made almost basically a little over $4,000 doing Uber in 2022, and the government took half of that. And so in that, I was like, okay, I got something to file, whatever. But it was the point that God was telling me to go back and look again.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when we go through situations or we see certain things, we get frustrated. And then when we get the instruction to do what we're supposed to do, we don't do it because we're like, there's no point because we've seen the results of, you know, seeing the results of a situation. But God is telling us to go back and look again. Yes, you may have been denied that loan for that car 3 times. Ask me how I know. But when I went back and tried to get my Jeep that I have now again, I was approved. Where somebody would tell you, if you were denied from all these banks, why would you keep going? Because God told me to go again. If you're trying to get that business loan and the first 3 banks did say no, go back and look again. You don't know what is going to manifest just because of your persistence and your obedience to God. Let's just be honest. I have been trying to do this weight loss journey for about 3 years now. But the process is now God was telling me you need to start over and try it again. And I know if God is telling me to try it again, I will be successful no matter how long it takes, no matter if it takes a year, 2 years to get to my goal weight. I understand that because I'm doing it in God's timing, that is I know it's going to be successful. So I'm just telling all the viewers out there, all the listeners, don't be frustrated in the no's. Go back and look again.
Absolutely.
Because you're beautiful. You're intelligent.
Yes.
And you're graceful.
Valid.
You big people.
You yes. No, I think that's important to know, because sometimes we discredit somebody when we be like, "Dang, we assume what it is."
Yeah.
Based off of our experiences, what we go through, and that's just naturally so. It's just human nature. Oh, I've been there before. We're not doing it again. But sometimes you got to go back and look again, and you got to go back and just see things in a different light. And sometimes God will reveal things the second time that was there the first time.
Right.
Like it's always been here. Like, but this time you looked. But this time you got to go again. So I concur. So if you're out there, you got a journey, you got a goal you're trying to get to. The responsibility is to just look again, go for it, chase it, make it happen, and listen, let God be God. All right, listen. We're ready to get into a question of the day. We're gonna go right into it, because now
so much going on.
The conversation out here on the internet, on everything,
all platforms,
is
big and small.
So I'm gonna be a little bit messy right now. A set person that I know, name not mentioned, made a statement, and they watched the show. So if you're watching the show, don't be offended. Just know that I love you. And they shared this video, and they made this statement that no Christian should be going to a secular concert. And I wanted to reply and get into that conversation. And they shared the video clip, and the video clip makes sense, and I understand it as it pertains to because it was more so about Beyonce, the Hive. That's really cool. Come on, all right, we know. Right. That's very extra cult, but everybody, like I said earlier, everybody's not doing a seance.
Right.
I don't think everybody's channeling. I don't understand.
And it was the breakdown of it, because it's borderline question of the day, but it's also borderline church mess.
Yes.
But like the breakdown of the semantics of the words.
Yeah.
I get it, but first of all, if you're watching, if you are going to Beyonce and you got life insurance, get your priorities. And don't have life insurance, get your priorities in order. Them Beyonce tickets are literally yearly premiums. I need you to get, because GoFundMe ain't cute if you died at the Beyonce concert. You chose this $1,400 instead of getting life insurance. But no, like seriously, I understand this how the terminology, if you break down the words, kind of makes sense. But to basically go at it in the sense of, if you're a Christian and you go to a concert, you are going to hell. Your leadership is off if they let you go.
No, it makes it simple like that. Imagine, God, you went to go see Boys II Men on the 2nd of November. Right. Hell is your destination.
Right. All is repenting. And I went to hell for Katy Perry.
So here's my thing with the concerts, okay?
Yeah.
Because I gotta talk about the conspiracies a little bit, and not even conspiracy so much. I'll put it this way: if it's really no difference from going to a concert versus going to the movie theater to watch. It's all the same. Honestly, it's really all the same. Whether you go into a concert, whether you go to the movies, whether you're involved in an actual party or whatever, and they're doing stuff there, like it makes no difference. The thing is, what is inside of you? So are you at that concert praising and worshiping that celebrity? Okay, that there's a problem,
right?
But if you just there, you listen to music. I mean, and it does kind of depend on the artist. There is a little bit of like, should I really be following this person?
As a lifestyle, like if you I feel like if you can't watch them in concert, you should listen to the radio. Like you can't, like for example, Fantasia, Barrino, new name, I don't remember. Was at Shays.
Yeah.
And she sung her songs, all her little throwback joints, her current joints. But
took them straight to church.
Took the folks. I said, young She took the people directly from "Oh boo, can't stand you," "In love," "Forget about love," to Jesus, and the whole room hands up, worshiping God, giving God honor, and no matter, I don't care what you came here for, but at the end of the joint, giving God praise, and it's like, y'all mad because she has an influence that you ain't God,
Right.
Yeah.
and you mad because now she's taking to give it to God. It's not just about her own glorifying herself, and I think that makes a difference in your presentation. But if you're not going to the concert, you better not watch TV.
Yeah.
Then you
And-
better not go to the movies.
That's why we posted the first question of what is considered demonic, because people have been saying going to these concerts, and it's specific to Beyonce at this
Yeah.
moment because that's the artist who is touring right now.
No. And
So they're saying with Renaissance and how she channeled and stuff like that. I'm not a big Beyonce person. I appreciate her as an artist, but I'm not part of the hive. I'm not quickly running to listen to her music. She's just one of the people like, this would be a cool road trip music for me. But I don't like how people have been going in on, first of all, going in on Beyonce. Second of all, and then going on Christians who are going to her concert. If you had a conversation with the Lord and the Lord gave you the okay to be at this concert, then that's the end of it. But to sit there and damn all Christians, saying if you're going to this concert, you're going to hell, and this is demonic, and you know you're going into this cultish thing, I think is a lot, and it's turning people off of Christ.
So I think I definitely feel like it's one of those things where I'm a better Christian than you because I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where the problem lies, because at the end of the day, you're still partaking in whatever activities, whether you're at the concert or not.
Valid.
No matter what you do, it really comes down to this. You know what these artists are about, right? You just need to guard yourself. Like, if there's certain songs I won't listen to with Beyonce for sure. I 100% believe that she ain't right. Something ain't right with her.
Valid.
And I don't know if it was a video that I seen that if it was real or not, but there was a video I seen that, like, when you watch it, her face just becomes so distorted. Like, it was super creepy.
Yeah.
I watched it 100 times trying to figure out, like, is this fake or is this real? And like,
you know what? I'm gonna say this with my conspiracy friend here recently, because the TikTok popped up where these NASA people were looking at the Earth, and he had a video. He was like, "Oh, this is the Earth," but he turned it upside down. He was outside just shooting the sky, crazy. And then he said had a video, another picture where it was this picture. It looked like new planets, but he just said these are just the bottom of pots and pans. Yeah. But I said that to say that the ability to create illusions or to create content is just so easy.
Right.
It's just so easy. And I get that there's a borderline to certain things, that there's a baseline to them. But we're so quick to take a story and make it a thing and give it life. And like, do I believe? I do have a belief. I believe in the Illuminati. I believe that Jehovah is into just based on vocabulary, into the satanic Satan thing.
I mean, the name,
valid.
You know what I'm saying?
And Beyonce, those things. But you can't take those extremes and apply them to everybody.
Right.
So I guess for me, I wouldn't say apply them to everybody. However, just having more discernment on who the people are and what they're actually involved.
Like, for example, do you think Anthony Hamilton is demonic? Do you think he's channeling Charlie?
That's funny.
He just
his vocal range is
R&B person whose beard doesn't connect. That's all I got.
Right. You know? Like, I think, but I mean, like I said, the conversation started because she is going on tour. People have been waiting for her to go on tour for a while. And Beyonce has said she's watched video of herself and didn't realize that was her. It was Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
So she has actually come out and said, like, it's like something takes over my body. I'm a different person. I don't remember doing this stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, if Anita Baker ever come to Buffalo,
valid,
you gonna see this good elder there.
Oh, valid.
It's a wrap.
Valid, I'm there.
Call my pastor.
But like, and I granted, but But as Christians, let me talk to the Christian folks, okay? As believers, tongue talkers and people that's saved, if you will. We have, man, it was all God. The moment that you are used by Jehovah, by God, the King, the great I am, and you execute, sometimes you're taken back by, I don't know what I said. I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that the oil and the presence of God was so prevalent in executing this assignment. And to everything, there's a counterfeit.
Mm-hmm.
So the enemy has this, it's the same model, the same format. But don't be so surprised. I hate Christians for this reason. We get so surprised by the demonic, but not realizing that God is the orchestrator. Y'all about to get mad at me today. That God is the orchestrator, meaning that they don't exist without him.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm about to get in trouble right here. I'm so sorry. When was the first time that you drunk blood? Yeah. And I'm saying, oh, you saying that you demonic. No, what I'm saying is that there is a holy presentation of a thing that Satan then perverts into a thing. But we'd be acting like the perversion is like unknown. No, you've been sipping blood for fake and eating body parts for fake for communion. We've been doing this. Granted, so I don't need you to be getting, because y'all give the enemy more
than he actually deserves.
Like more attention. Okay, he's going to be a counterfeit. He's going to try to do what he does. And number two, it's the secular. It's them. They gonna do what they do. And
the music, I would say this: the music industry is literally like
Jews.
It's almost basically run by the devil. Because it's just, and I think it's a lot to it. Frequencies, vibrations, all that stuff, because that stuff actually is real and it does matter.
Valid.
You know what I'm saying? Just like there was a preacher I watched where he was talking about that he's seen some video and he said that about how everything has a sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he, like, I don't know if he did it or I don't know how they did it. Sorry, you guys, a little all over the place with this.
You're fine.
Long story short, the sounds were all put together of all the different things on the earth, the different animals that make certain sounds, even down to the grass and leaves and trees. And it's supposed to be like this beautiful symphony of things because everything sings praises to God. So it's just like, so clearly if that is important to the Lord and, having that is important and that everything has that, then of course. Yeah. What is the devil going to do? I mean, it's our ears. This is going straight into our brains.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he corrupt you that way? Like,
and I think that too. And I think that, and this is for my Christians for the most part. Sorry that it's like a Christian Today show. But what it is that you have to know what power you possess as a person.
Right.
You have to know who you are, who your source is. And I think that when you are feeble and weak-minded and you don't have that foundation, I'm going to pause right here for 37 seconds. If you are not dig into your word the way you dig into the TikTok videos, you're not doing your due diligence.
Right.
If you're not studying and spending time with God and discovering and doing your research there, but you're quick to no shot to my friend. No shot to my friend. You run to the conspiracy and these things and these TikToks and these videos, but you haven't read your word.
Right.
Because then you would know that everything that I made is good.
Yeah.
Everything that I've made there's nothing that I made that was by mistake. Everything I made is good. But now because you have the knowledge of good and evil, the enemy then perverts what I've made good. I've made music good. I'm making trouble here. I made sex good. I made these things I made them good.
Right.
But when you take them out of time, out of context, and you twist them and you pervert them, now we have a problem. And that's what the enemy does. Like, I tell somebody, God is love. If that's the true essence of what it is, God is R&B. Like, no, wait, check me if you want to. Yeah, but he's the pureness of love.
Right.
Yeah.
R&B talks about I'm getting so in trouble. R&B talks about the storyline of the ups and downs of trying to find love, trying to identify. It sounds like testimony service to me. It sounds like me telling the storyline of what it is, whatever. And certain songs are a little different. Like today, some songs about
the new R&B is
new
different.
R&B is different.
But
what I'm saying is that
the love part,
straight to the bone,
Yeah.
right, straight to the bone. But then my older saints want to act brand new. Like, oh, this is child, the blues you was listening to,
Listen.
the songs back in the day had the same stuff they were talking about now. They just coded a little bit better.
Yeah.
Then again, they
I
didn't.
went
'Cause
down to the bar.
No fact. I want to stroke it to the east. Stroke it to the west.
Stroke it to the one that I love best.
That's
I
a
be
straight.
stroking.
Come on, all right, please. And the girl said you ain't did the doggone thing till you stand up in it. These are songs from my ancestors that are still rocking today. But it's like, but right now it's like I get it. Being a Christian is. I'm not going to say that it's hard. I'm going to say that it requires a level of discipline.
Yeah.
But because of I'm going to say this word, different variants of believers and commitment to that, it's not the same across the board, if that makes sense.
And Christianity is not going to look the same for everybody.
No
Right.
doubt.
Because I was looking at the story of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Particularly because he was a true thespian. If that, I don't know what that is, it's pretty much an artist.
Right.
Um
I thought that was one of the letters.
No.
I'm about to say,
He's like, what is this new letter? No, he's
That's the other T.
he's a thespian, so he believes in the true artistry of acting.
Yes.
And so he said, like, I wouldn't take certain roles because certain roles will cause me to channel into something
Absolutely.
that I did not want to channel into. But he was like, but because of my belief in God, like I had to really sit with certain things. So I looked at him, and then I looked at Andra Day, who talks about how she channeled the spirit of Billie Holiday, but the spirit hasn't left her. She's like, you know, Billie Holiday spirit still sits with me. You have to understand.
Derek, good morning.
Good morning, Derek. You have to understand that even as a believer, there's certain areas that you just cannot go into.
Valid.
And understand that when you do that, you're opening yourself up. But the whole demonic thing, everything is not demonic,
Right.
because we was told as Baptists going to the movies was demonic. Wearing red lipstick was demonic.
Playing Uno.
So can I just real quick? Okay, so it's not that everything is demonic. It's not that everything is demonic. However, the problem lies when you start digging into certain things and then you go far enough back and you're like, oh, this started off in a bad way. So, and there's a lot more things that are like that than not like that.
Yeah.
But obviously until you go all the way back.
Right, but
yeah.
and this is my thing, because this is where we mess up at, because we go back to a point. Yeah. And then we get to that point, but then we don't push beyond that point.
Right.
I feel like I'm getting messy out here, but
you're getting messy boots.
Because like for example, not really, I don't believe in the whole tarot card situation. It's not a thing. Yet I'm in trouble right here. I told somebody, I said, the difference between you and me is that you require on a card to get a word, because it's a motivating factor for you to give what you already heard and hear. It pushes you. I said, I hear God directly. I don't depend, and this is where we mess up at, and this is going to hope it makes sense. I don't depend on the item to validate what I hear.
Right.
I have a direct line to God that I hear him, and I'm confident in what I hear. So I don't need a third entity or a part to be a push. Now I'm gonna get mad at me. Now y'all gonna check me, but don't check me too hard. I don't need a cross to put on your forehead to cast out a demon.
You know what? And just on that, I'm gonna back you up on that.
Yeah.
Actually,
The power of Christ can kill you.
Why is it that we even use the cross as a symbol for the Lord? Like, I get the point about him making the sacrifice.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes.
However, imagine you died by being shot, and so everybody wore guns on their chest. Like, I mean, it kind of is like, what?
Yeah.
And that's just something I always thought about, like, especially the ones that have him on the cross.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I'm gonna tell you, I know why we do it, because, like I said, it is the thing that sometimes channels faith for some people.
Yeah.
And they need that. But now somebody had challenged me, because that's why we got these rocks and crystals now. Go on. My God created them. listen, y'all not gonna like me as my God created rocks and crystals and auras and vibes and chakras.
Wow.
That was my chakra. That was so
I didn't see that, but
these things. But it's like, are you going to give more credit to what's been created or the creator? And for me, I'm giving credit to the creator. I'm getting credit to him who I believe is above all.
Yeah.
Him that is superior, who's the God of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, that he rests above all things. And that's who I'm giving my reverence to and my commitment to. Now, because of this love and affection, and because how great God is, everybody who has a measure of God has a different level of commitment, requirement, and status and responsibility. And I say that because maybe you can't go to a concert because you're not built for a concert.
Right.
Maybe you can't go out there to the club because you're not built for the club. I'm not saying out here living heathenistic, but God has graced some people to go to some places that you're not built to go to.
Right.
Yes. And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I cannot go to concerts, and I mean that like with the most like I have wanted to.
Yeah.
But I went to one concert and I felt sick.
Yeah.
And I had to leave. Like when I left out, I felt better. I went back in again, felt sick again. I said, "Oh no,
yeah,
I can't be in this environment."
And that's real.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's happened to me in two different realms, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna call out the nationwide person because we not at millionaire status yet, and I'm not trying to get a suit. But I went to one of his revivals with a church.
Yeah.
And ended up having a serious anxiety attack, and it felt like my heart was beating out of my chest, like getting ready to check out, leaving this. But I went to the 90s throwback concert in Buffalo and just realized back that thing up still got magic, and you gotta watch the twerk when you out here in public. It really that's why I said, for crystals, I think they're meant for beauty. Like Absolutely. When I see an amethyst, I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. But when people channel into it and be like, oh my God, I'm gonna just take the nature of the world's energy and put it into this crystal, it's kind of just like, it's the same thing. It's controversial, but we're here now. It's the same thing with cannabis. Like, it was a plant. People, like, it was just a plant. Some person came together and was like, yo, we should smoke this. but it's not, but when it was made, it was just a plant. Yeah. The same thing with the items that make cocaine. I don't know how to make it, but I heard it's baking soda, water, and something else. But like that original thing, they just were plants. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have, yes, there are some times that we have taken God's creation and made it contaminated. But at the same time, everything that has a worldly appearance isn't worldly, because there's a lot of artists out here that really love God. And that's the avenue that they do is music. Oprah Winfrey has a relationship with Jesus, because and I didn't know that. I didn't know that until she talked about how Maya Angelou brought her to Christ. And so she was like, when I was doing my platform, I used to say things because I didn't openly come out and say. I didn't want to lose my audience. Mm-hmm. So I didn't say, I would say the creator or the man above. She was like, but now, she's like, my mom told me to never, her spiritual mother. Yeah. She was like, my mom told me to never be ashamed of the Lord. So she was like, yes, I know Jesus. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you got to know I'm being a billionaire. But yeah.
Come on, Conspiracy. You might change your name.
So
to DJ Conspiracy.
Here's the thing that I have to say. I have to rebuttal this just because I truly believe this. I think that I agree with the scripture says you will know them by the fruits of their trees. And I feel like if you have a person, especially somebody where the spotlight is on them and it's not portraying what it's supposed to be portraying, but they believe that inside, I don't believe that. I'm believing what you're showing, because that's your fruit. Like, if you ask around about somebody and everybody tells you this person is amazing, this person is great, this person is all these different things, okay, that's their fruit. You meet them in person and they're even better. That's their fruit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I have to disagree on that one. And I really, especially with Oprah, only there's just so many things that I've heard and seen that Oprah was doing, and not just doing, but even a part of, that I just don't believe, because why would I get it? Doubting Thomas, okay, or just people now wanting to say Jesus or admit that they love Jesus or that they follow Christ, follow Christ, they follow God. But why can't you admit that? You know what I'm saying?
She has publicly admitted it. Like, and she like the last thing that I saw with her, like where she talked about this, she was like, before I was, like pretty much skating the fence because I didn't want to be offensive. But she was like, now I have to tell my truth. Like
you have to choose
like
a side.
but that's the thing. Like it was the same thing with her. She admitted her wrong in it. Like pretty much having like a secret relationship with the Lord. But she said it was Maya Angelou, and it was really the death of her spiritual mother that made her like, yo, okay. Like, and it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna start speaking in tongues now. She really was just like, I made the error of not being authentic to myself.
Right.
Forgiveness is real, I think that's a real thing. But like at the same time, we can't fashion Christianity in a box.
Yeah.
That's what I was pretty much like getting to, because we put it in a box. It's Sunday morning, huckabuck, shouting, your wig coming loose, lashes coming off. Like we fashioned it in this, not understanding that God has placed people in, different arenas in the marketplace that not like my sister Brandy. I love her. She's a trichologist. It does hair restoration.
Oh my God. Let me pause right here. Jake Cherie in these words this morning. Trichologist.
That's her field, and she's a trichologist. I get it,
but then you said Chapman Boseman was a
That's a thespian.
And you said something else today, and I just let it slide. But I said, oh, these words are coming out today.
But no, she's a trichologist. She doesn't just do makeup.
Yes.
It's restoring hair loss and stuff like that. But her avenue is the marketplace.
Yeah.
But she's not shana in her shop. But who God is in her life is showing up with her clients, and the fact that she can restore hair with people where professionals in her field said this person can't grow back hair again. So like I just think that we have to stop putting everything that doesn't look like church in a demonic box.
Right. And I think that the Bible says that some things are not unlawful, they're just not expedient. So you got to use your balance between the two, but you also have to know who you're called to. For example, I am the assistant pastor, preacher, the prophet, but I'm the DJ, the community man as well, and I'm Santa Claus apparently. So and to certain areas, you're like, oh, Frank, how can you do both? I'm gonna tell you how, because God gave me assignment for community.
Right.
It's because I know that assignment, He graced me with these abilities to do so. But there's gonna come a time where those certain things are gonna have to just be dismissed. But right now, I'm graced to do that. But everybody's not graced to do that. Everybody's not graced to be in the club,
right,
and be a representative of Jesus Christ. Listen, I've been on the dance floor hitting a two-step, and God started talking. You not about to tell me, God, to tell this lady that God's about to do it for her while I'm on, like, but then having to still be obedient to those instructions. Like I'm still a vessel of God. I'm not changing, because I still line dance at church. I have no problem. I will bust a move. I'm just him. But it's like, but you have to know. And if you don't know who you are, and I feel like the spirit is kicking up, you don't know who you are, you're going to succumb to everybody's opinions, thoughts, and ideas. And I get it. You have to know who you serve. I don't serve everybody. I'm not designed to reach everybody. I'm not saying I'm old. I'm not saying I'm young, but I'm right there in the good middle. Okay. And
he is actually 90 years old.
And you just have to, being holy is being separate. But I'm getting in trouble right here. I just feel like this is trouble that's just coming. Being separate doesn't necessarily mean always being mean or distant or disconnected. And when I say that to the degree of I don't change the standard of who I am because I'm among you.
Yeah. Right.
I don't, just because my family want to play cards, sip Hennessy and smoke weed and do the joint. When I pull up, that doesn't mean that I have to engage in what y'all doing. I'm still separate.
Right.
I still represent where you second guess y'all cussing. And I tell y'all, man, that's how you talk. I don't care. Because it doesn't bother me like you assume it does. But my separation is that I hold a different standard. Don't ask me this. I'm not smoking. Don't violate me like that.
I would say, and the fact that people assume that it bothers you means that it bothers them.
Yes.
Because they know that they know that what you're doing is the right thing. What they're doing is not. So I definitely agree with you on that. I think it's hard too to be separate. It's hard sometimes to be separate because you want, naturally everybody wants to fit in.
Yeah.
You want to be a part of groups. You want to be included. But I've had this trouble of fitting in, I feel like, my entire life. Like I just don't, I'm different. And I've always been different. And now, I've come to accept and be like, oh, I'm different because God has set me apart on purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And so, it just comes to the point where you have to understand that one day you'll meet the people that you need to meet.
Absolutely.
But even then, you still have to be different because you're set to be
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Shadette said we can't we can't keep being so holy. We forget to live. With that being said, I wouldn't go to any B concert because I see beyond what some see.
Shadette, I just want you to know that I read that that WTBS a little bit different.
I don't know. I didn't know what WTBS meant.
Oh, with that being said,
but with that being said, I want you to know that when I read, I should have known better, but I didn't know better. But when I seen it, I said, "Oh my God, what a BTS." What a BTS. But that book, I don't know why I thought that. That's so crazy. But no, but the integrity of who you are, I knew that's
behind
not
the scenes.
right. But listen, but that's just seriously. I think that I understand why the foundation is why you can't go to the movies, why you can't play with cards. I get it. You're just trying to preserve the experience because some of that stuff brought certain things with it.
Yeah.
A Uno game doesn't necessarily bring alcohol. All things, it gives the culture is a little bit different now, where the things that offended you then doesn't have to offend now.
Right.
And I want to say this is that you can live in your white sheet in your corner room if you want to, and you can be so holy in presentation, looking like you got it together with a heart full of deceit, evil, and envy. But what I'm saying is that God looks at the heart. God is not coming back here looking, I'm going to get in trouble yet again, looking at your tattoos or checking if you went to the concert or not. He's going to check you for your works and your heart posture.
Right.
Where were you? Now, this is different. Where were you when I told you to be a certain place? When I told you to go and go tell that lady this word and go to this church for this reason or go by this house and you went to the concert instead, now we got a problem. Because now you're disobedience because you put what entertains you over what I said. And now we have a challenge here.
Yeah.
Not that you just went to the concert. There might be somebody at the concert. I've been walking in the mall in a Santa suit to meet somebody who was crippled for them to get prayer for healing. Oh, if for no other reason we came for you, the job is done.
Yeah.
But I've been places and turned. Y'all want to know the truth? Been to the club, been out here, and then get to the parking lot and got to release a word still in my heathenistic borderline. Jesus, I love you, but I'm over you right now.
And that's the crazy thing. Even our trip to New York.
Yeah.
Our trip to New York, where people could have judged our trip to New York, our final destination. Because we went to places just unsuccessful. Our final destination, Frank had favor with a person he never met before.
Never.
Put on a platform in an area where he spoke no Spanish.
No.
But they were like, no, you take the mic. Like the fact that, we came there for a purpose to promote a thing and we were able to do that on a platform. Like that's him being, he was like, yo, we need to go to New York. If it was for nothing else but that reason, that was the point. And I think I think we have to just get to the place where it's like, know what you are called to, and what you are not. Yeah. I learned in a hard place. Don't ever go to a Katy Perry concert. I went to one because the ticket was free. The intros between the songs. Yeah. Wow. I was like, you went from praise and worship to this, Katie. But like, if like I said, if Anita Baker, Gladys Knight, any of the people come to Buffalo, say what you need to say.
Y'all lucky
I'm going.
Luther was alive. I might put it on a Luther hologram concert.
They doing it for Whitney and Michael. Why not?
Listen, but no, it was just to go with Jay Cherie because I know Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo está? Bien y tú. But I was emceeing that Dominican basement party in New York City. It was just like, yo, you're designed to reach more than what you told yourself you could. Yeah. So that was an experience. But we got some people commenting on they talking.
Shadez said traditions and false teachings have hurt the church, in quotes, us the people. Derica said wait a minute. It's not about being present in certain secular environments. It is about having a spiritual foundation so
Yes.
rooted in God, Jesus Christ, not these others. Anyways, being so rooted that you can't be penetrated by the
Come
stuff.
on.
Many people are not strong enough to be penetrated by those spirits. Then Shadette said, she wearing red lipstick. She must be a witch as an example. Like what? But you screaming covers by the blood.
Right.
We can wear blood, but not lipstick.
We can wear. I'm done. I'm done.
No,
Because that.
I mean, but
Because,
I get it,
but that was
but
true.
that's-
Like traditional Baptist, if you wore a red lipstick, you were a harlot.
No, valid.
Like,
valid.
if you wore big hoop earrings, you were a harlot. You cut your hair, you fell from the grace of God because a
Yeah.
woman's hairs are glory, and that's a
Valid.
whole interpretation of that.
And I think
scripture.
that we do that. We do that. We have so much religious things, and like I told you, and I understand. I comprehend why so, because religion is simply, y'all can find me all day, is my search to find out who God is.
right.
I'm trying to identify him. Whether I'm going to go Methodist, Baptist, Kojic,
Baptist,
you know, I'm in search to find out who he is, to where I can watch this, comprehend him.
Right.
Not where you got him, but where I can comprehend him at. And in my search of doing so, okay, we realize, listen, baby, we got some stuff going on as a group of people. And to eliminate these things, let's reduce some stuff. Let's not do some things.
Right.
But they've taken those precautions and made them almost religious requirements, and now we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But wasn't the Pharisees during the Bible times adding all the extra laws
Yeah.
and requirements?
Absolutely.
And didn't the Lord
Nicely
Jesus
check them every time.
You know, I'm just saying, because and that's the thing is, like,
Good morning, Nana.
I just think that at a certain point, when you're on your search and your journey for God and for Jesus, it's definitely going to take you. It's going to take you on some crazy paths.
Absolutely.
And I think when you truly love the Lord, you love God and you love Jesus outside of everything, outside of time, outside of religion, outside of all of that, because you realize the magnitude and the power that God and Jesus has in the Holy Spirit. You realize
and what happens with that is that, let me help you out real quick. God is so massive. God is so big. God is so extreme. Give me a big word, because you my girl. So God is so God is so okay.
I can't think of nothing.
God is so what happens is that not one person or one, I'm gonna use the word entity, don't be afraid, can embody all that he is.
Right.
Therefore, he says, listen, I'm inside of you. I've given you a piece of me, but you can't really handle all of me. Because if I gave you everything that I am, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
If I gave you all, but what I've done is I've given a piece of me to you all. I've given you access to me. I've given you the power to possess things. I've given you the power to speak life. I've given you some authority, but you have to know that. And because you don't know it, he says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. That goes to Derek's statement that you got to study and read the word of God for yourself, and you got to dig into it. That goes back to my first statement. If you are more concerned with the TikTok videos and what everybody else is displaying, and you're not doing your due diligence in studying the word of God as it's presented and the layers that's beneath it and beneath it and beneath it, because you can't, I'm going to say this for somebody who's listening, you can't just study back to the white man then stop.
Right.
You got to go before they called us Christians. You got to dig before there was a title named to this experience.
Yeah.
You got to, and if you're not going to go all the way back there, let's stop this conversation. Because I was challenged on Sunday. Sunday, somebody prophesied to a young man, and he was just like, to a young man, and they prophesied. Cool. The young man that came to the altar, and I'm praying for him. God, do this. God, do all that. God, I'm God. God. Do it, right? And then what happens next is, do you believe in God? No, I don't. And they're in church. He says, this is what he said to me. He says, I believe that the opposite of something is nothing, but nothing. Then he was like, say it again. He said, I believe that the opposite of something is nothing. But I don't necessarily believe in God, but there's something. But you believe in nothing. I said, yeah. But then I don't know how I worded this because I said, God, you're good. Because I said, so you don't believe in God, which is fine. Because this is, and that's how I said this isn't my time to try to convince you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because too much has already been deposited already.
Right.
So I told him, and I don't know who I thought I was and how I got here. I told him, I prayed that nothing finds you. He said, nothing bad. I said, no. I prayed that nothing finds you. Because what you identify as nothing, I identify as God.
Ooh.
Wasn't that good?
That was smooth. Yo, that was God dropping bars out here.
Valid. I was like, God, you're good. Because I don't know. But I told him, I said, sometimes we can stand into a room and see nothing. I said, the wind doesn't move. I said, and I used the wind as the example. You don't know where the wind starts. You don't know where it ends. You don't see nothing until there's evidence that there's something that's moving. He was like, valid. So there's nothing. Then we got into a conversation, but he was like, dang, all right. I said, from that point on, I had nothing else to say.
Yeah.
This isn't a debating match. This isn't
I'm trying to convert you.
No. God has said too much already. So my prayer is that nothing finds you. So when it looks like nothing is happening, that nothing is moving, and everything is going crazy, that stuff is just at a standstill, he shows up for you.
Yeah.
Period. And that's only because I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I know that who he assigned me to. So God, you gonna give me the words to say. I don't know how I got to that conversation, but that was.
But I think one of the best demonstrations I ever saw was one Sunday we were on Whirlpool, and Bishop had all the leadership line up, and it was one of the Sundays we were wearing our vestments.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You see all these different leaders. One is in Chucks." It was actually two of us in Chucks. It was me and Keith. It was like he was like, one is in Chucks, one hair is blue.
Yeah.
This person looked this way. This person looks this way. This person got tattoos. This person got a nose ring. He was like, I'm showing you this because everybody doesn't look the same.
Valid.
And that was like one of the best demonstrations because we were all in the same clergy collar, all black, but we all look different. And I think that's the concept that we need to have going into the world. Like, we may all believe we're not going to all look the same.
Or do the same, because there's one woman, I won't call her name out because I want you to roast her or checking for her, coming for her. But I seen her I knew her from just our childhood, but she sung R&B, but she also sung gospel. And when I watched her sing R&B, it did not, I said, God, you crazy. This is when I knew that grace was different for everybody. I said, because though she's singing R&B, I don't get that perverse R&B sexual vibe.
Right.
I said, God, and that's what I said. She's graced for this thing.
They gave her smoke for that. And that girl very much loved the Lord.
And I said, oh my. Oh, you're graced for this. You're built for this. And then going to another concert and watching her just execute worship. I said, and this is what I said. You have to understand where you are. Because I said this before, I think in Bible study, the same God that says, thou shalt not kill, is the same God that told Gideon to go to war, told David to fight and conquer, who sanctioned killing. So the beef, y'all about to get mad at me again? So the beef or the challenge isn't the fact that you kill. The fact is that you can't handle what the assignment, you can't handle what it takes to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You can't handle what it takes to have that mental, emotional weight on it. But I've assigned some people. That sounds crazy. But I assigned some people for war.
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, as unorthodox, it's like, no, yes, God is a God of love and all those things, and wrath is in love. Learn it for yourself. It's a real thing. But it's like, you have to understand who you are assigned to and what you're assigned for. And
let's knock some of these comments.
Yeah.
Erica says there's a difference between the teachings of institutions and denominations versus the Bible. This is why we have to know the word for ourselves, read and study our Bible. Shadette said we have to stop allowing people to tell us who God is and find out who God is to you. I was created for a specific purpose, not what your expectations of me are.
my Lord.
She said, just call me Peter, because baby, listen, listen, I truly believe, and until the Lord deals with me on it, which will probably happen based on what we're doing this month, that every leader need a Peter. Every leader need that one person that's willing to cut ear off.
Because it's valid. Because I'm being.
I
petty.
am a sanctified dragger. I will drag.
I'm being petty with the text. I believe that he had that. If he had the blade on this day, I mean he had it the whole time. Like, I'm a fisherman, number one, so got to cut net, got to cut fish, cut them open, yada yada. So even though I've transitioned my life from the field of fishing into serving out this guy, I got to slice and protect. Now let me back up. This is getting good to me. As I talk. Let's talk Peter. Let's talk Peter being a fisherman, making fish is his money.
Yeah.
I got to protect my money. So therefore, while I'm getting my fish, I got to keep something on my hip.
Yeah.
Because you might try to get my fish. Stabby, you know,
Right.
real quick.
You cut my net, I cut your net.
As I transitioned over into the servant of the Lord, there are some characteristics that transferred with me. All things didn't fade. And so that means that I've had this knife with me on a regular basis. I've been praying and walking on water with the loaded. Okay. I got the keys to the kingdom loaded. Okay. What happened was this was a part of God's plan, and he just told me, bag up. My fault. I was out of pocket this time. But I believe that there's been other times, just not documented.
I mean, but I really felt, honestly, I felt like even with, Peter being a cutter, like even in that, the miracle the miracle of restoring the ear caused the miracle. So sometimes you got to cut them in order for them to believe.
Listen, it's going down this morning. We'll be right back. We got more conversation, more content. You don't want to miss it. It's Big Frank in the morning. Y'all, the conversation is real good. Don't y'all leave me. Don't y'all go nowhere. We got a few commercials to present, and we'll be right back right here on Fire. 716 Big Frank in the morning.
Big Frank in the morning on Fire. 716.
What's up, fam? It's Frank.
And Tyra. Tune in to Keeping the Fire.
Every Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on Fire 716.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
Unfortunately, African Americans are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites, according to the U.S. Department of Health Services. My name is Fatima Matthews, and I am a congestive heart failure patient. I am taking my life-changing experience of having died on the table and being revived to help educate others on the topic of heart health. And I am inviting you to attend my luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Heritage Center right here in Niagara Falls, New York.
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank. He likes to be Frank in the morning. Welcome to Frank trying to be doing my commercials. So if you're out there watching, you're listening, I'm looking for somebody to come in and do some work on the production side of the morning show, because I'm trying to produce commercials like that for everybody. You know, I'm trying to be out here lit like that.
Yes.
I got 4 mouses over here. No, for sure. No, thank you. You know, somebody told me, like, Frank, if you really like push your editing situation, you can be somebody. I said, you know what? You might be right.
You know, it's crazy because I feel like God is just like God. When you have favor with God, God will literally give you wisdom. And I believe wisdom is knowledge and also skill. I do believe that. And I think that God gives you so much wisdom in anything that you pursue. Because I be sometimes like certain things that I'm good at, I just think to myself, like, there's no way I could have did that without God. Because I have no idea how did I learn how to do that? So that took somebody 10 years to learn. I know how to do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Lord.
And some things I did not know was there. This radio show alone.
No, you
never saw myself on a radio station. I was legit joking with Frank. I was like, yo, I'm gonna apply, because he was like, we getting ready to do this radio station, send your resume. And I sent it as a joke. Like, I'm like, dude, he gonna get like a bunch of other people. He's like, yo, since we gonna do this, I'm like, dude, I didn't think I was gonna last past the first show.
And you know what I realize is sometimes our challenge is just the failure to pursue.
Oh man.
Because I had 2 conversations yesterday, and I'm like, God, it's not as difficult as I've projected it to be. I just got to get out there.
Listen, the devil comes in the form of procrastination.
Ah!
Okay? and not just procrastination, but distraction.
No, valid.
And I truly, because that's my problem is procrastination and distraction. If those 2 things were simply removed out of my life,
all right,
and I know that it will.
Yeah,
but
I'm not gonna tell you my secrets all the way. But the commercials that I made, that y'all just seen, I made those last night.
Listen,
and I made I made them in a good amount of time. But recently I had a client, and my turnaround time was not good. and I was just like, I thought it was the creative process, but when you know what you're doing and you're under pressure, procrastination, it's like you can do this, Frank, or efficiently and knock these out. Oh, say less, because everybody got to get commercial. It's part of the practice.
And Shadette, your stuff is amazing. Like the stuff that she really does, LaRoque Customs, she just got free advertisement, but it is definitely good. What is not good is church mess. We got some church mess. We briefly talked on the demonic things that people are, talking about as far as the Beyonce concert. I will once again say, if you ain't got life insurance, but you paying $1,400 for these tickets, get some life insurance.
Ticket prices too, because I feel like I get that she's, this artist that is so amazing.
Yeah,
she could charge whatever, and anybody's gonna pay for it. But I just feel like as that person being so great, so this and that, if she really cared about her fans, she would make it up. Like, it's not like they're hurting for money.
Yeah. So
that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they would at least make it more affordable for more people to come.
With those prices, you're not targeting the urban low class community. You're not
targeting the other billionaires.
This season of touring ain't for us. Y'all get the DVD, y'all get the bootleg. You know how we gonna do.
Not the DVD.
But this is for those who got bread.
She got paid $24 million in Dubai.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
because once you go up, you can't go down.
I mean, even with that, like I compared.
Yeah.
I will never compare the artistry of Michael Jackson to Beyonce. Don't take this the wrong way. Michael Jackson,
disclaimer.
Truly the king. Michael Jackson's This Is It. I know this because I was in the queue for tickets. This Is It, to go to England and where the seat where I was going to be sitting, because I want to be close to the front, was about $500, maybe $600. And I was close to the front because Mike wanted to create, this was his last tour, and he wanted those to be able, his fan base to be able to afford to go to these concerts. It's the reason why I have such an issue with her ticket prices is not because, okay, Beyonce, if that's what you feel your value is, cool. My problem is the community that's taking second mortgages on their houses, maxing out all their credit cards, missing car note payments. When you come back, your car gonna be missing because you decided to, are you hawking, valuables because you're deciding to pay for this concert. And you already, like, I'm not paying for the concert. You know why? Because I know one black person is going to go live on this concert and I'm going to watch it for free.
Yeah. But, and my thing is, with that being said, that's why this ain't for you. It's okay. Take that loss that you can't go to this one. It's okay. Listen, once your financial situation is sufficient enough to be able to buy these kind of tickets, then you can go. But I believe if your ticket is in the thousands for what, I don't care. You're not Jesus. No, but no, if your tickets are in that price range, it really lets me know, just on a real serious conversation, that you're not targeting low income housing people.
Right.
You're not targeting that community who loves you. You're not. No, I'm targeting those who got money. Mm-hmm. And if you got money, I want it. Drop it, because I'm just that person. Now, like I think Shadette was saying, marketing plan, I think it's ridiculous. It's crazy, but I get it. That's who she's targeting. And those who are going to pay that will be there. And if she still sells out a venue, it shows the weight of, then maybe she's trying to be the highest paid music icon. I don't know. Watch my words.
I mean, they pay. They come out. They pay. And, it's crazy.
And she knows her fan base will pay it.
Right. A lot of them. But this goes back to the question about, is it demonic or not?
Yeah.
and if people are gonna, should be there.
Mhm.
Because this is the thing: if you are willing, you're willing to go above and beyond,
Yeah.
and do whatever is necessary just to see this person. There's a power that they're holding over you.
Mhm.
Okay, that in itself is it's crazy. Like
Valid.
that's really crazy.
Valid.
So, and then to me, at that point, that's worship. You worshiping them. If you willing to do anything, you in the comments fighting for them. You telling them happy birthday on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know,
And
like you're
you willing to do
worshiping.
all this
Yeah.
as believers, but you won't sow into your ministry.
Yeah.
This is when I have a problem, and I'm going to be that person. So come for me.
No, valid.
I have a problem with people who are so invested in artists who do not know who they are.
Man.
But your pastor, your bishop, your leader, whatever title they have, is praying for you. You call them, they bailing your kids out, they bailing you out. They putting food in your house. They're doing all the things taken out of their house to provide for your house. And you got an issue when we try to say, hey, we trying to meet the needs of the church. Now you falling on deaf ears, or you're
Gotta
following.
go get those Beyonce tickets.
Listen, or you're following a leader that is not your leader, and you're sowing into that leader, but you won't sow in the home. That's when I have a problem, because I know a bunch of people that is trying to get these Beyonce tickets, but my church asking for an offering, but you willing to drop $867 for this ticket. The priority process, and that's part of church mess. That's part of the priority process is amazing to me. I'm like,
valid.
wow, you mad at your leader for asking you to sow $50 because we trying to do a thing, but you just drop $867 for somebody who don't even know you.
People pay for what they believe in.
Yep.
Anytime money is spent, it's an emotional spending, whether it's fear, whether it's
Yeah.
love, or
Yeah.
excitement,
Got
whatever.
scammed by fear one time. Absolutely.
No,
No,
but
valid.
that's like it, and it's sad to say this because there are certain things that I don't agree with as far as church and money goes.
Mhm.
But that's because I don't believe in that. There's just certain things I just I don't believe in. But at the same time, the things that I do believe in, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to do?
Right.
You can't be extreme on one end and not be extreme on the other.
No, valid.
So, yeah.
And I think that with those financial comparisons, because I live in the back office, is that the whole church never carries the church. It is only a portion of people in their giving who really carries
Oh man.
to make sure that those bills are paid and maintained, because it comes with a responsibility. I encourage all leaders to have multiple streams of income, preferably, but also understand of taking care of your leaders and those things. But I think that the comparison of what you just said is just kind of crazy, because you'll drop 1,000 for a day, but I can't get $10 25 times throughout the year.
Yeah.
And it's like, dag, because entertainment is just what it is. It's entertainment, and you'll pay for that emotionally, like you said. And if you're really out here, and this is a serious statement, if you're really out here hustling and bustling for a day of entertainment and have not taken your priorities in consideration, excuse me, as I go here, no shot. And if only a hit dog hollers, if you holler, we understand. If you are currently on food stamps and your rent is still beneath $100, and you are taking advantage of our taxes, and you are living in this place called poverty, I get it, because of your habits, not because you have to. You're working, you got a job, but you just choose to flex and to pretend. Your priorities are out of order. You don't need to go to a concert right now for Beyonce, but you need to begin to save and prepare yourself for home ownership to get out of to the next phase. Because now, there's ways to use this. If my rent is beneath $100, and if I am on food stamps and I'm working the system, but I'm still working a full-time job and I have money to flex with, I need to be saving.
Yeah.
And if you don't have life insurance, you need to get life insurance. Like I mean, today at 3, you got to get life insurance, because get it while you're young, get it while you're youthful, because when you start getting these diseases and stuff starts attaching to you and stuff start growing outside of your hip, oh my God, what is this?
Shadette says if Susie's lights about to get cut off, she absolutely should not be pressured to sow into the church. Absolutely. She said, but if Joe is a multimillionaire, he should sow with no problem. Just my opinion. I think that's the difference, because when that's the one thing I loved about our bishop. if he'd be like, there's 10 people in here that need to sow this. There were the 10 people that needed to sow it were in there. It wasn't like, but I also feel like, you know what I'm saying? I've been at church services and stared down. I'm not going to call the denomination out, but use process of elimination. Stared down because I didn't give to the second offering. I gave what I gave. And I'm not being led to get nothing else. And the preacher was like, we need more people to give another $20 and was staring at me the whole time. And I looked right back and was like, because I'm not first of all, you're trying to meet a budget and you're trying to meet an unrealistic budget. It was 15 of us in here. You talking about this is a $4,000 house. That's not going to happen. I'm like, and the fact that you're trying to stare me down to guilt me into giving some more money. And I'm not being led by that. No, like.
All right. So I'm gonna say this. Number one, pay your tithe and offering. Period. Point blank. Period. Hear me and hear me well. I understand that you have bills due. The principle of tithe and offering will preserve you. It will give you. Listen to me. I hear you talking. Pay your tithe and your offering. When it comes down to seed sowing, because seed sowing and tithe are not the same thing. To seed sowing, if you have it and God talks to you, he communicates. Go ahead and give it, because seed beareth after its own kind. So seed money produces money. Now, I understand the fact that I got bills to pay first. Okay, let me help you. I'm 24. No, I'm not.
You're 34.
34.
You're 34.
I'm 34. I've been in church since I was 11. I've been behind the back scenes of churchism and the church life since 21. Now, what happens is I've been there where I paid my bills first, paid my bills, and I did not pay tithes. And I've seen my money struggle. I've seen it just not do what it does. But I also watch God. When I honor my tithe and offering, I'm a tithe payer by default. Yeah. Because I believe God so much, and he makes provision and he opens up and he causes men to give into your bosom. I'm a believer of the word of God. I do. Go right ahead.
All right. So, y'all ain't gonna like what I have to say about this, but I definitely just want to put my 2 cents on it.
Go ahead.
So this was one of me and my grandma, we get into this discussion, because I ain't gonna say argument. Yeah. But we get into the discussion a lot, and it gets very heated very fast, because she is like, she 100%. Even if I only have $1, I'm gonna give 25 cents. Like, she's always been like that, and I think that's a beautiful thing. However, I believe that if you can't give, I don't think that every single person is meant to give monetarily to the church. I just don't. I think that some people are meant to give time, because time is worth more than money. In my opinion, if I don't have the money to give you, but I have the time to give you, I can come and do things that are going to help the church. I personally feel like that's just as good as giving. Like, it's, to me, I feel like that's,
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
If you can't, I can't give you the money right now because I'm struggling.
So
right?
For me,
but I could give you my time because I have that time available. And that what I'm doing with my time is not only going to help financially, but it's going to help. Period.
Yeah. So what I have to say is that 2 things. Number one, because I did prayer for 2 years and that didn't work. So my time is what I gave. I was at noonday prayer every day. Right. I was doing the media all the time. I was more available than available was available to avail. I was there because I had time. But the fact that I release funds to you, and this is what I talk about tithing, and tithing is different than seed sowing. Because out of your $1 that I gave you, I'm only asking for 10 cents. And if it's small when it's looked like that, but when you put that together with a larger amount, it looks like a lot more. And I get it, but you telling me that and this is just tithing. I'm not even this is just tithing. Give me 90%, 90 cents of your $1. No, that's backwards. Give me 10 cents of your $1, and you can keep the rest. But do that for every $1 that you get. Then the Bible says, bring that into the house. Because out of that $1, out of the money, watch it, that I allowed you to get, that I've given you to have, I just want 10% of that, just so I can maintain the house. And that's just for house maintenance. Because I don't know why people believe that the church building ain't got bills. We got lights, we got gas, we got help, and we got these things. Talk about it.
You know what kind of church I go to.
Absolutely.
So this is why I have a problem with this situation for my church.
Ooh, talk about my church. If you know, you know.
I go to an AME church, and in the AME denomination, all the money that comes in, because we're a certain number in the district, we have to pay a certain amount, to I can't even think of the name, but we have to pay up to the up. Okay. And the problem that I have with this is during the pandemic, there were some churches that were struggling. I mean, like, not just struggling clearly because no people was coming in, but just struggling to keep the doors open at all. Like, and they were still required to send this money, and because they weren't able to, it fell on other churches as a responsibility. And when you look at the breakdown, now this is more direct in the church, but when you look at the breakdown of where the money is going to, I don't agree, and I don't think it's right, and I think there's a little bit of, in my opinion, a little bit of blackmail to some of the things that is going on with the money portion. But that's with
and I would just say, don't,
you know what I'm saying?
I'll say this because we sisters in a way. Don't let your first experience keep you from the greater experience, because like, I grew, if you know, my home church, the church I grew up in, I spent my first 25 years in, until Bishop Brown came along. This is public information, so nobody, she told the church's business.
Good morning.
The pastor, his wife, and some of the trustees were stealing during church. So the offering would take, they was in the back, counting the money, got they cut, pastor got his cut, wife got her cut. They were stealing. And so when I found out because he confessed before he died, he confessed like, we stole, He only did it because he was dying, whatever. But like, my first introduction to that was like, see, this is why I don't give. But when I actually started actively tithing, I was tithing banana pudding money. I was making banana puddings as a side hustle. I will tithe, and more money, and it wasn't that I was tithing with the purpose of getting money back, but more money hit my hands than I've ever seen in any of my careers where I was making a lot of money. And it was like God showing me the benefits of faithfulness, because we can always find something in church that will make us not want to do something else. But if you know in your heart, like, hey, I'm just giving because this is, I believe the Bible, this is it. You don't know what doors will be open. So I would just say, personally, don't let that experience keep you from maybe having a greater experience.
And I'll go back to this, because I don't tithe just to the house. That's just, I tithe because God said so. Yeah. And this is a concept that people know on higher levels of people giving out the donations and stuff like that, because they understand that there's a benefit in giving, because what you give, you always have. And I get what you're talking about is a structural, internal dilemma. And when I'm talking about far as the principle of tithing as just in general, I'm a God, I'm giving 10%. And ideally you give it to where your home is, your home church. So I'm tithing this here because you said so, bam, this is my 10%. Offering is a level of trust you have with God. Here's some more. Seed sowing is you sowing on a word, if you will, that has been deposited, and you believe in that word and you want to return, just to mentally get you to believe, that level of faith that we talk about.
I guess it's
one of the Josh, that's because you were younger. He said, I actually didn't know that, knew about the other corrupting.
I feel like as far as it goes with tithing, I think this is one of the things that like I've prayed about. And I feel that, I need to continue to pray and talk with the Lord on it, because I just can't, in my spirit, I don't know. There's just something about that I just don't agree with.
Because
it's not saying that I don't want to do, what God has ordered me to do. That's not it at all. I just don't believe that everybody is meant to. I don't think everybody's meant to give 10% of their money. I think it's other things.
And I got you. And for me, if I've given it to you, for me to ask for taxes, because we giving them tax, we can get into that conversation. We're paying taxes. We give them extra for the dollar. But my thing is, if I'm giving it to you to give me 10 cents of the dollar shouldn't be a hard task. It shouldn't be a hard task. I'm not saying that is. I've been there. I've not sown my time.
Yeah.
I've been unfaithful. I know what it's like. I know that that 10 cent conglomerate into 350. Way God now this look like something. So for sure. So I get it and I get that. But I would encourage reading. I think it's Malachi 10, not the robber part, but the benefits of it, because he says, "I cause men to give into your bosom." You know, there's the benefit of it. And it's just tithing, and tithing is just so important because that's what's going to sustain the house. Not just about paying up, and that's an organization. No,
Yeah,
because
there's a lot of
denominations
things
can make certain denominations can make tithing and seed sowing very arduous. Another word for you.
Today's vocabulary words come from Jay Sherry.
Very arduous and hard and
Go ahead.
and-
Go ahead. I'm watching this back and I'm pulling those words out.
but like I remember it was funny. I thought it was funny, but somebody roasted me because at the time I got a refund check and God was like, sow $1,000. Say less. Sold 1,000. And they was like, I can't believe that you just gave $1,000. Okay, what they also didn't see is the series of checks that came after that. You know what I'm saying? And it was just for me, it's an obedience thing. I'm not trying to force you to do whatever it resolves in your mind. I would say go for it. I would just say try it. But along with other church messy things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. Then we go, go ahead.
get into some two church mess things. So gospel singer Chandler Moore's wife being criticized for her dress at the Grammys. Okay, so for those who are online and you can't really see the picture, not really.
Send it to me.
She is in a nude sheer dress. In the nude, she has in a nude bra and nude panties. So it is sheer. You can see through it.
Giving naked.
It's giving naked vibes. It is personally for me.
What is she in that say? What is she heathen?
Like for me, I think this is I get, as a believer, they want you to have a certain not look, but a certain decorum when it comes to your look. But if her husband let her go out, like if her husband have a check in his spirit, like I said, I'm not 100% against it. I personally, once I get to that place, I'm not going to be in nude dresses. That's just me. But they're giving the husband more noise than the actual wife, because it was like, you let your wife come out naked.
Okay, so I took my hat off for the husband and me. All right, so I get that you can be that the level of modesty is different now, because she could have been out there with Cool Connor out, her backside exposed, cheeks out, and her areola showing. We could have went beyond.
She could have went a real full Janelle Monáe.
She looks very. I'm in the. Forgive me for this. I'm in the Walmart aisle, and these are the bras and panties that you can buy. Okay, these are not thongs.
It is legit
hipsters.
basic.
It is a legit high waisted whatever. Victoria's Secret. I worked there a long time ago. Don't judge me. So I think that number one, as a husband, you don't know what's required. You don't know what we've been through, where we at, what's going on in my household. And if my wife needs to feel sexy and look sexy and be amazing at that, put that on. I'll take that smoke. Because you don't know what's happening in my world. We always got assumptions, and I don't know either. And number two, they may not subscribe to the limitations that you're talking about. Chandler, look at now. Chandler already got in trouble. Okay?
Yeah,
they already living on the edge of Jesus, and we working it out. So, granted, she could have came in with the church suit. Maybe she could have came in with the big hat. And listen,
Shadette said, "Listen, a believer will be convicted when wearing wrong and doing wrong. If she doesn't have a jean skirt to her ankles and a huge sweater to go get it from the saints." I mean, honestly, like I said, the dress for me was kind of just like, okay, I can understand, because it's under the guise of Christianity and being a believer. It's kind of like, okay, too, but it's also the Grammys, and we've seen worse from other pastors' wives. Like,
what happens is sequence or see through, but she's still like covered. Her midsection is exposed, but it's not like her boobs are, because I know they got that little triangle. triangle cut.
Yes.
Y'all can't see me on radio, but
A
a
deep
triangle
V,
cut.
yeah.
And it'd be deep V, and it's like every, man, leave them alone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I seen the dress. I don't know. She looks fine. I feel like sometimes people they want a problem.
Bro, and she's not even
They want
like,
a problem.
and no shot to you, no shot to you, Chan, not to body shame anybody. So don't say it, Brink. All right, then. But like, it's not even. I'm so sorry. Don't be offended. Please don't be offended.
Oh boy.
You know, because it's like,
I'm gonna let him process it. Get it out.
You encourage her thing.
Yes.
You know
the
you
more
buy.
curvy you are, and the more sexier things will look.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
you know how you buy a dress and you own a person, it's curvature. Then when you buy it, it don't hit.
Yeah.
I believe that's what happened here. I just see like this is just a rug. It didn't
If
curve her and hit her.
if she
had a swoop,
If she had a full body
and I'm not saying
contrast,
that
then
you-
it would be
the body
more
contrast
in-depth.
would have been more.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you're just lack shapely. I'm just saying that I'm not. I don't have a big word. No, I know.
You're
I'm
not.
saying those
You're
things,
not.
but
You
I'm just
know,
saying,
rotund.
yeah. Yeah.
No,
But
but
valid,
like
valid.
that's yeah. So
Because watch this. Because everybody was was highlighting her at the, what's the name? Her was a Christian.
Who?
Her.
Oh yeah.
And she actually has a gospel songs out, but nobody's come for her. In her presentation, where you see the curve or the increase of her. Okay. You see the indentation of the destination.
I didn't know
okay.
that her was a Christian.
Yeah, her
That's
got,
real cool.
I play a song that she has with
that guy.
That guy. I think his
Yeah.
name was Terrell. He has a
Okay.
song out. So there's people out here. Now let's talk. B. Simone and her craziness. She's a believer, and she wears. We pick and choose.
I don't know. B. Simone was a Christian.
Yeah, like these people.
Well, that's just because her vocal presentation.
Yeah. Granted, that you watching. But now I'm a I'm a podcast glancer. So these conversations that happens, they believe in God, they believe in Jesus. He's the source. They pray to Him. Their delivery not always the best representation for sure, but their presentation. But then we decide who we want to check and validate and come against. What's the posture of your heart at the end of the day? And that is just something that I get it. We can't see. So all we have to go off is your presentation. That's why the statements that you've made regarding her and B. Simone is because your presentation overrides a negative content than is Jesus Christ.
Well, no, I never had a negative thing with her because I just thought I feel like me and her should be best friends in real life because her vibe for me is everything.
Yeah,
I didn't know B. Simone was a Christian based on the amount of penis sucking jokes she puts out there and the cussing. I just didn't know with that she was a Christian. Like that's the only reason why I was like, she's a Christian. Like in theory, I could see her. I just didn't know because I was like, you talk about sucking penis a lot.
And you got to watch, the series of information because she talks. There is a level of maturity that has come for B. Simone, but also, but that once again, what's presented to us. Is what we have to see. Well, go ahead. What we got?
The other part in Church Mess is the picture is funny. Pastor sits on people and prays for them. Huh? Okay. The problem.
I wish y'all could see this picture.
For the TikTok people, that's the picture. So, what is making this church messy is that somebody pointed out that this specific pastor is always sitting on the private area.
He's literally riding that man
of the people he is praying for. So it came out of like, I kind of feel like you're a mini perv a little bit because it was like if I sit on a woman, I'm sitting right on her JJs. If I sit on a dude, I'm sitting right on the peen.
I'm screaming. Like the picture is like if a picture is worth 1,000 words, those words are bad words.
His face was everything in life. So this is what kind of makes it messy. I have seen a variation of different church activities. I have seen people walk on people. I have seen people lay on people. I've laid on somebody and travailed with them, things of that nature. But the fact that you have a reputation for always sitting at the person's private parts makes it a little sussy. It makes it a little suspect.
A lot.
Yeah.
Why are you straddling that man? I don't understand that. What part of that did God say? Yes, get on top of him and straddle him and preach my word to him. I don't think God told.
But
him
this is
to
going
do
on a
this.
lot because the one pastor was praying for. He said he was led to pray for a man who was infertile, like he wasn't able to produce seed to get his wife pregnant, and.
What?
And so
this
he
is open
went
arguments.
to,
Is this? What was the
he
word?
went to
Go ahead.
the man was not able to produce seed to get his wife pregnant, and the pastor went and literally
He grabbed his nut.
grabbed the peen and the nutsack and was praying.
Nah.
I was waiting for the follow-up to see if the wife got pregnant. I ain't seen the follow-up yet, but we've had pastor, like a woman literally grabbed the pastor's junk and was like, I need you to transfer your reproduction agents
I'm
to
filing.
me.
I'm getting a police
That's
report
crazy.
because you have sexually harassed me at this point. This is no longer where you get to the realm of touching me. In
I
inappropriate
saw that
places.
shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She said the one pastor was whooping. It was the leadership at that. He was whooping leaders with belts. Like we've seen pastors pooting on
I'm
people and saying it was
That's the
God's
devil.
wind.
That's the devil. Because
We
I don't see my good Lord and Savior being like, yeah,
this guy was not in Africa, surprisingly, Josh. This guy was
take that
actually
belt off
oh, the Africa guy was
and
Africa.
pootie tang them people. No, I just don't. I can't.
So
this symbolic. These whips, 39. I don't know what he was talking about.
no, he was saying that this is got the belt guy. One is in Africa. This guy, Josh, that was sitting on people is American. But the guy who was whipping the leadership, because if you paid attention, it was all leaders and collars. He was like, this is God showing discipline and punishment because y'all been acting out.
Not
So
him
this
being
is-
somebody's granddad. I can't.
So he literally had him laying face down and was Evelining them from the wind.
Oh my
Whack,
gosh. Are these pastors, this guy that's sitting on people, this guy with the belt, are they okay? Has anybody done a wellness check?
We know valid.
Because y'all possessed, and it ain't the Lord, it ain't the Holy Spirit.
Sometimes people just
I-
extra
just-
because
Come
humanity just extra. Read all about it. Listen, we'll be right back. Listen, that's Church Mass. Shadette walking out. Valid. I'm out of there. Listen, it's going down, y'all. Big Frank in the morning. We'll be right back. It's going down. Let's go get it. Big Frank in the morning.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
Unfortunately, African Americans are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites, according to the U.S. Department of Health Services. My name is Fatima Matthews, and I am a congestive heart failure patient. I am taking my life-changing experience of having died on the table and being revived to help educate others on the topic of heart health. And I am inviting you to attend my luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Heritage Center right here in Niagara Falls, New York.
What's up, fam? It's Frank.
And Tyra, tune in to Keeping the Fire.
Every Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on Fire 716.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go.
It's Big Frank in the morning, Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air, Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it. Hey.
Fire 716, you like the Big Frank in the morning. Listen, it's going down. Jay Cherie, D Money Mac in the building, holding it down. Y'all see me? Yo, listen, okay. If you need a commercial, you want to advertise, 716-371-1903. We can make it happen. Boom. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
You ready to get into some hot topics?
Some hot topics.
It's going down this morning.
So, first hot top. Nope, that's local news right there.
It'd be like that.
Okay. Got to do better. So, prayers out to Lisa Ray. She lost her mother. But isn't that DeBrat mama too?
Yeah.
So prayers out to DeBrat and Lisa Ray. I don't like how
believe that they sisters.
I don't like how they phrase that because they said Lisa Ray's mom like DeBrat ain't her mama too.
They don't get along. And
Their
lanes, though they're family.
Yeah.
Valid. Their lanes are different. So people don't always highlight.
Like they said they worked it out just to be okay at DeBrat's wedding.
Yeah.
But prayers out to the both of them for the loss of their mother. Rihanna decided to announce that she was pregnant at the Super Bowl. She said she was bringing a special guest. The special guest was her pregnant belly.
Girl, get your family, okay? You should be married, but get your family, okay?
Congratulations, I guess, on your second baby. I don't know why the world was shocked that she got pregnant so quick.
Well, just for those who don't have a man.
All the shade.
We've already waited the 9 months. And then we've preserved, we know I wasn't waiting 9 months, everybody live a little different. But there's a period of time of no interaction.
Right.
After you've pushed out a thing.
Right.
And that season is not easy for us all. So upon not legally, but upon access of reentry, we will go and do a thing. And that thing may yield another seed. Ask me how I know. I went from 1 to 3 quickly. And my wife was, I can't do math, but yeah, she was.
Yeah, because Trey was 8 months.
Trey was 8 months when she was, And so it was like, how your son is what? My son is 1. Your kids are 8 months, about to be 9. Yeah, okay.
God does a swift thing. Let it happen. De La Soul member Dave, aka True Guy. I want to say that's how to pronounce it. True Guy the Dove passed away at the age of 54. No details have been given yet on the cause of death, but for all those hip hop heads,
R.I.P. to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Congratulations to LeBron James. Don't know if this was reported, but he made history by beating Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record in points. This man is now a legend. Feel how you feel about Bron, but
I feel like he was gonna be legendary status regardless.
Yeah,
like they just put him up there anyways.
Because I think Kareem had 3,000 points in his career, and LeBron in his last game, he beat his record, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was actually the one who handed him the ball. And
sweet.
I played basketball for 1 year. I tell people this all the time, right? I played basketball for 1 year and I made 1 point the whole season. And when I made that 1 point, everybody went buck wild. So I can only imagine making 3,000 points.
She was like, "Yo, I was a star for 1 moment."
1 moment, yes.
I get it because I was on the team. I was on the basketball team at the center, and I was not good.
I was.
You was too big. You not.
I stood at the other end, like they all running. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just.
I was so close to the basket missing. It was just so disappointing. I get it.
And yet I was short in hitting the buckets. But no, you gotta do what you do. 200 students walked out of a class at the Alabama high school after they were told that their student-led Black History Month program could not reference slavery or civil rights movement because one of our administrators felt uncomfortable.
So what they celebrated this?
So the students and the students at this Alabama high school put together a Black History program.
Yes.
They told them that they can't talk about slavery or civil rights during their program because it offended one of the administrators and it made it uncomfortable. So the students did a walkout, was like, screw you.
Yeah.
We walking out. Like this is part of the history, whether you want to believe it or not. So congratulations to those students who took this Hillcrest High School.
It's always the Bamas down there, boy. Them country Bama. That's crazy.
You can't talk about Black History or Black History Month because I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Black
My
history.
bad. My bad, Josh. So LeBron had 38,390 points in his career. Kareem had 38,387. I knew it was up there. But
yeah, in fact, then don't teach critical race theory.
Right. But this is unfortunate story. A 6-year-old boy was repeatedly raped on a school bus by an older boy, and they did not investigate it. So when the bus driver heard the screams in the back, they did not stop the bus. They did not stop to investigate anything that was going on, and the students around them pretty much was like surrounding it, so it didn't happen. So unfortunately, now the mother is suing the bus company.
As she should. I'm gonna just be very honest. I get the bus driver to the degree of the kids being rowdy on a regular basis and becoming accustomed to that. And then 2, the lack of where was these bus aids? That's been a lack of bus aids. I know in this area more so. And that's so unfortunate and so so heartbreaking. But if somebody's screaming, you gotta pull the bus over and get up and
everybody around is
responsible.
Yeah, y'all failed that.
Valid.
This is dumb. People are now being identified as trans disabled. These are people who are physically healthy, who feel they should have been born disabled. So I'm sorry. I'm about to pass on. So the lady showed how a person who felt like they should have been born with no arm, physically, like had their arm removed because they felt disabled.
As a trans disabled person. That is crazy. If you want to park the spot, just park there and take the ticket. Like, come on. Like, are you crazy?
So now they feel like they could be identified as trans disabled, or if they feel like they should have been born like as an amputee, they will either not use their leg or get their leg amputated because they feel like that's how they were supposed to be born.
Why are they playing in the Lord's face? Why are they? What?
Mental health
I
is
feel bad for the actual disabled people.
Right.
Can you imagine being actually disabled?
If you're gonna cut yours off, give it to them. Like, do y'all blood? Well, come on.
Imagine being born disabled, going through all the hell and torment you had to go through
to be trans. Man, y'all
to
crazy.
be known as trans disabled.
To choose to pretend to be disabled.
Yes,
they give trans race vibes from her.
Insane. That's literally in
the only.
I would be so upset.
The only time that I do disablement playing is when I'm parking in a handicap and somebody watching me.
Man,
I do a little
I
just go with it.
On the way to the store.
But to attempt to embody somebody's struggle, because that's a struggle.
That's a struggle.
That's a life of trying to figure out an innovative way of living. Having to take advantage of programs and sources, and you just want to identify as such because you got how dumb.
That's so ignorant.
That's
literally a slap in the face.
It's very. I was watching the video and I'm like,
that's insane,
nigga. That's all I can say. I was just like.
So that says I identify as a billionaire, but the bank doesn't know it.
I mean, for real, at this point,
this next hot topic, I will just say Jay Cherie does not agree with. Nicki Minaj has been ranked as the queen of rap. She's the only female rapper in the top 50 greatest rappers of all time. I don't agree with this. I just don't.
So
there's so many iconic female rappers out there that it's hard for me to believe that Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap.
The issue with this is, and I feel this way, I felt this way for years, is that when Nicki was coming up and she was doing her rap thing, there really was not another female rapper going as hard as she was.
Mm-hmm.
And not only just that, but she was in pop music. She was in everything. She was involved in commercials. She was involved in so many places, and there really wasn't anybody to stop her or be better than her in her climb to fame.
So she was this this generation's.
She really like. I'm just thinking like Nicki Minaj came out.
Yeah, and I think I have to give her.
know?
And I haven't thought about that. I give her kudos for the pop side. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because as far as the hip hop world, I believe that there's just the delivery, but because she does have that, she has a range because she was rapping.
Yes.
But she was doing that on the pop side to the Caucasus fans with Caucasus Mountain Caucasus. You know, we know no shout out to
the
them.
Black
We appreciate
Barbie
your ballad. So those elements, and then did she cater also to that strong LGBTQ community as well?
And not just that, but her fan base are probably the absolute worst. No offense to any Nicki Minaj fan base people, but like they go too hard. Like it's like a cult. Okay, it's literally like a cult. Like Beyonce's in her cult. And Nicki Minaj and her cult, and like if those two cults was to battle, I don't know who would win.
Now that'd be a battle. That'd be a cult battle.
That'd be a culty versus a real culty versus. I'm gonna do these last couple of hot topics and then do some local news. Burt Bacharach passed away. He's old. Burt Bacharach. He's old school music.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna even. But he's done music. He's played behind Dionne Warwick. So the music playing for "Say a Little Prayer," Burt Bacharach.
Say a little bit for
Okay, so he passed away. Russell Wilson and his charity are under investigation now and being accused of fraud. It said that the organization raised millions of dollars, but only offered 39.6 cents for every dollar to the charity. So if he made, I think it said it was like 1.1 million. He only gave 200,000 to the charity. So now he's being investigated for fraud.
Well,
don't do that because I'm trying to get me a charity.
Real quick, Russell Wilson, right? That's what you said. Sierra husband, Russell Wilson.
Sierra's husband, yeah.
Mr. Goody Goody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So those are some hot topics.
Don't come for my boy.
I'm just saying, like, he's not saying that everybody's bad or everybody has, but if you wait long enough.
Let them can do their investigation and find out where it went. Because just because I only used 2,000 for this year doesn't mean that I'm not going to use it for. I got future things happening. I got videos and
Josh
things I'm building.
Burt passed away. Oh, one last one.
Yes,
New York school issues apology after students were served chicken, waffles, and watermelon for Black History Month.
Okay, here's the thing.
We gotta do better.
I don't know if I'm offended or if I liked it. And that's the problem that I have. Because in a way, it's like, dang, that's kind of messed up. Maybe if they just remove the watermelon, because I feel like the watermelon has more negative connotations than the fried chicken and everything else.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
I understand. I mean, we eat chicken and waffles on a regular, but it was specifically served during Black History Month, and that's why I'm like, if it was on the menu all year round, I could be like, okay. But Black History Month, we gonna put chicken, waffles, and watermelon.
They were trying to probably be different than going the soul food route, because normally they go macaroni and cheese, little collard greens. I've been there where they try to do a little soul food meal for the soul food folks.
But some local news: a 40-year-old Hamburg.
Wait, I'm sorry, real quick. Because you got to think, like, on St. Patrick's Day, what do they serve? On these other holidays, or where other nationalities are recognized, they do kind of serve,
Green egg
so
and ham.
I mean,
but there's a stereotype between Black people, chicken and watermelon. Let's just be honest. This is stereotype.
Then my question is, what the kitchen look like?
Right?
Is the kitchen kitchen? Because when I went to Seneca,
or is it white?
Them Black cooks bring your grandma.
If grandma's in the kitchen and she done fried that golden,
I mean, it looked delicious, but
I got
a 4-year-old Hamburg man was struck multiple times by gunfire on the first block of Botsford Place in Buffalo. The victim was transported to ECMC, where he is currently listed in serious conditions. Police are looking for information. If you are looking for an apartment, today's the last day to apply. In Buffalo, the Olympic Avenue apartments are subsidized housing. You can't, there is income based, so you can't. I think for like a 1-bedroom, you can't be making over 18,000, but you can actually apply for it. A girl is getting ready to apply, but it's for the new housing development for the Olympic Avenue apartments, and they look nice. So if that's what you're trying to do, go and apply. Today's the last day. The deadline is February 13th. The Buffalo Police Department is investigating a shooting incident that occurred just after 2:30 a.m. at Club Marcella. According to the police, the 3 people were shot during an argument inside of the club. One person was pronounced dead on the scene, and others 2 were transported to the hospital. And it was at their Club Marcella Valentine's Day celebration.
Val Massacre? Jesus.
Yeah. Niagara Falls. Just read it where I got it from. There was a 2-vehicle motor vehicle accident on 7th and Ferry Avenue. Police, fire department, and medical were on the scene of that accident. And this was in Niagara Falls. Also, Niagara Falls police seized 114 fentanyl pills disguised as oxycodone, over 2,000 disguised Xanax bars, over a half a pound of mushrooms, 14 pounds of high-grade marijuana, and over 156,000 in cash.
I'm sorry.
A loaded semi-automatic pistol, scales, numerous package material, and other drug paraphernalia in an Orleans drug bust. So there's
gonna be some mad people out there.
They're facts. And Orleans is not the hood, just so you guys know. So
and last local news, my birthday is tomorrow, y'all.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
And I'm hitting the big 40. Wow. So I'll be hitting 40 at midnight.
Yes.
So
come through. You don't look 40. So.
I know. God keep you looking young when you're serving.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
If Valentine's Day is tomorrow, please, husbands, wives, go get your gifts for your mates.
Should have already got them.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Get the flowers. Ladies, get something for your man. This is not just a man give woman holiday. Yes. Granted, it's Hallmark, but exchange. Get your man some good smell goods.
I don't subscribe to these Hallmark holidays, but my wife does.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm not. Listen, Frankie, I'm gonna be very honest.
Happy life.
I'm not doing good. I need to get some flowers and roses and candy. Oh my god.
Yeah, so women, get your men something nice too. Get him some nice cologne, some church socks if he go to church.
Men like chocolates too.
Get him, nice sweatsuit, some J's, something. Don't
a good back rub. Rub these dogs. I'm not saying for mine. I'm just saying.
Honestly, I only celebrate Valentine's Day because I was born on that day.
When I was in a relationship, I celebrated Valentine's Day. I think for this Valentine's Day, I'm going to go live on TikTok and hang out with everybody else who ain't
got no
relationship. Yeah.
Love yourself. And if you are single, learn to love yourself, because I've been invited to a lot of I hate Valentine's Day parties. I'm not coming. No, if you bitter, that's why you single. This is my closing, my encouraging word. If you are bitter while you are single, you are not going to be happy when you have somebody. You need to learn to love yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't expect somebody else to love you. If Valentine's Day tomorrow, take yourself out to eat. Dress up real nice. Get your makeup, get your good clothes, make yourself feel good. Get you a group of girls.
Yeah, and y'all just walk these streets, and whatever happens, happens. No.
But no, seriously, love yourself. Don't let a Hallmark holiday cause you to go into bitterness because you're not with somebody. I am perfectly happy. I mean, it is my birthday, but I've been perfectly happy in my last Valentine's Day not having nobody, because I have a good group of friends that I just celebrate with. Get you a girl's day. Stop being bitter. Yes. Final thoughts. That's mine.
Yeah.
He said demon.
So my final thoughts are I'm losing it. I'm losing it fast. Actually, you know what? Whatever it is that you want to do, not saying that we don't have a lot of time, but we don't really have a lot of time. Yeah. And I mean that in the sense of don't wait. if there's something that you want to do, if there's something that you are called to do, just go for it. Go for it, because the worst thing that can happen is not you going for it and it not working out. The worst thing that can happen is you never going for it, and you never know what could possibly be. You never, like, you know, and just there's so much to life. You can have 10 setbacks, and then that 11th time could be the time that you go, you know, you blow up. So you never know, but just go for it. Make those hard decisions to go for whatever it is that you want to go for, and be unapologetic about it. Just do it. If it doesn't work out, try something else, try again, but do it.
Valid. My thing is that it's important that you just do what they both said, love yourself, and to go pursue it, because what you do today affects your tomorrow. And I say that because if you prepare today, when the opportunity comes tomorrow, you'll already be ready. And God whispers things, he says things to you quite frequently, but you still haven't executed yet, and you're really doing yourself a disservice. Your delay or your procrastination can cause you to miss the moment that was designed for you. Listen, it's Big Frank in the morning. Today you have the most amazing, blessed day, and remember, go after everything that God promised. Look at y'all being in sync.
Yes.
It's been real. It's Big Frank.
Thank you, viewers.
It's love. It's peace. It's soul. It's De La Soul. I'll let y'all. Big Frank in the morning. I'll let y'all.
What's up, fam? It's Frank.
And Tyra, tune in to Keeping the Fire.
Every Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on Fire 716.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
Unfortunately, African Americans are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites, according to the U.S. Department of Health Services. My name is Fatima Matthews, and I am a congestive heart failure patient. I am taking my life-changing experience of having died on the table and being revived to help educate others on the topic of heart health. And I am inviting you to attend my luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Heritage Center right here in Niagara Falls.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go. It's Big Frank in the morning. Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air. Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it here. Hey.